living every day in your head for free. You can tap away, but I will not hear you scream. You can break the keys, spread your toxicity, your world outside reality. In your room, a little hideaway, but you let it through enough to go insane. Living in the dark hasn't treated you well. You're building your own prison cell. Hey, wait, don't waste it on me. Spite lies telling you, don't waste it on me. Did I brush you off? Is it your lack of friends? We never met, even if you pretend. Am I in your deck? I don't know you nothing. Don't say something you'll regret. Hey, wait, don't waste it on me. Spite lies telling you, don't waste it on me. Hate, rage, don't waste it on me. Spite, lies telling you, don't waste it on me. Rage, don't waste it on me. Spite, lies telling you, don't waste it. I'm telling you, don't waste it. Lies telling you, don't waste it on me. What to think about when you're born into a fire? Let 'em burn it out. Sell 'em to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
Welcome to the Throttle Up Racing Network. Tonight we're with the Southern Excitement Racing League and we're down in Atlanta. And if you watch NASCAR today, you realize tires matter here. These guys are only going to have 4 sets as we go through this one. Alongside of me today, Kyle Quintrell. How you doing tonight, Kyle?
I'm doing well. Excited to see how this race plays out. I just got done with the race of my own here, and it is tricky managing tire wear, that's for sure.
Yeah, and this Southern Excitement Racing League, as we've gone through, this is the 6th race of the season. And so far in the first 5 races, we've had 5 different winners. So very competitive league. Hoping to get maybe a 6th different winner today. We're watching Bill Stringfellow go around. He's not yet won this season. Currently fastest on the track. He's won a couple stages this year. Just hasn't quite got across finish line in first place. But this is certainly a place that he could get it done. So one to watch for, Bill Stringfellow. Who do you think's got a good chance at winning this one, Kyle?
I haven't had a huge chance to look at everything, but based on last week, Ronnie Osmer has to be, up there among your favorites, and John McMillan showed some good stuff last week as well. So I look for both 51 and 55 to be factors in this, and they're sitting 2nd and 3rd in practice right now.
Yeah, no doubt. Last week's winner, currently running 7th in the time charts. That's Blake Giglio. And as Blake's out there running, let's take a look at the points. Blake Giglio, he's your point leader right now after last week. AJ Rogers out there in 2nd, Chris Carter 3rd, Ronnie Osmer 4th, Bill Stringfellow, he's 5th in points. And as you'll take a look, we're taking the top 16 at the end of the first 26 races to go to the playoffs. Currently, Matthew Goodell is in that 16th spot, so everybody trying to knock him out as we go along.
Yeah, certainly.
Gets a little...
Certainly a long way to go until we get to the playoffs, but 5 different winners already, and if we do make it 6th, then that cuts down the possibilities of making the playoffs and makes it just so you have to win a race pretty much. So
looks like we're seeing some guys getting loose off the corner. Currently we've got 33 cars logged into the session. So going to be another big field, Southern Excitement Racing League. So far this season, over 30 cars in every race. So very competitive. Got about a minute and 12 seconds for these guys to get out here and get their final laps of practice in. Kyle Adcock making his first couple laps here. There's Matt Goodell. That's the man that's currently 16th in points. And, yeah, we've got a long ways to go, but anything can happen. And these guys are already worried about that, getting into that top 16. Kind of got to focus on it from season's beginning all the way to season's end. Trying to get just as many points as you can each week. This league, not a win and you're in league. So top 16 in points will go to the show at the end of the season for a 10-race postseason playoff. So
yeah, I'm so used to NASCAR being win and you're in that I forgot about that. But yeah, I mean, this race is going to be all about just taking care of your car. This is such a tougher track to run, and these tires wear out, and the car either gets really loose or really tight. One or the other, it doesn't. There's no in between. So it goes to one of the extremes, and you just got to be patient and make sure you're getting the most out of your car, but also keeping it clean.
Yeah, we ran a practice race here Friday night. I got to run with some of these guys, and Mark True, he won the practice race. And John McMillan, he was very fast on the long run. So, and McMillan setting a a fast time there on the practice charts. So fast on the short run and the long run. I think McMillan may be one to really watch in this one as a potential new first winner. Mark True now out on the track. He's won a race this season. Knows how to get it done.
And you bring up the long run versus the short run. If you can be really fast on the short run here, but as that run lengthens out, if you're aggressive on those tires to begin the stint on those tires, you're going to be falling back by the end of it. But if you can take it easy those first 5-6 laps on tires, you can really make some ground up at the end of the run. But you don't know if you're going to get a full run without a caution or not. And every time a caution flies, they're going to be coming down pit road as we get our first laps of qualifying starting to come across.
Yeah, and hopefully we get some long green runs. That's what we're looking for tonight, long green runs. Mark True makes his first lap at 30.3. And Skrmita already up into the first spot over True. Now Goodell runs one quicker.
The second lap should definitely be faster here just because you can't quite get up to speed coming to the line the first time, but if you mess up that second lap, then you're going to be stuck with your first lap. And first person through with their second lap is Mark True with a 30.270, and he goes to the top of the board.
Skrmita now up. Let's see Goodell. He moves into second. Our quickest time in practice was a 29.98. So we know these guys can get down into the 29s, just barely. Let's see if anybody does it. Looks like Grandy now up to the pole at number 7. McMillan moves up to second. We were watching his time to see where he would end up.
I believe that was on lap number 1, so we'll see if he can pick it up even further on lap 2.
Bill Stringfellow, fastest in practice. He's now out there making his first time lap. Our point leader Blake Giglio also pulls out onto the pit lane. Stringfellow 15th on his first run.
Yeah, lap number 2 is certainly going to be the money lap for him. Let's see if what he can do coming down the backstretch here. He looks like he has a good line in 3 and 4. You kind of have to arc it in there and keep it on the bottom, but he's coming out of 4 right now and to the line. We'll see what their fastest in practice is able to do in qualifying. Jumps to the top of the board with a 30.081.
Top of the board. Very impressive out of Bill Stringfellow, looking to get another pole award. Andrew Rattel, he went out there and got 6th. Falovich, he comes across in 7th. He's out there trying to get a few extra practice laps, looks like. Blake Giglio, he's coming around to finish his first timed lap.
Got the 12 car spinning down the backstretch of Dylan. I'll let you take
Falovich.
that. Falovich. He ran a 31.95 on his first lap, but lap number 2 he got loose coming out of turn 2, so he'll have to settle for that first lap. He's 7th overall right now.
And Bill right at a 10th slower than he ran in practice, so there's a little bit left out there. We know that, but Bill was the one that had got it earlier, so we'll see if anybody else can get up there and get it. Giglio, he moves up to 4th. Nate Maurer out there in a new paint scheme on that Simbox Chevrolet. Shouldn't be hard to spot that bright orange car. He'll qualify 12th. Jamie Dunning now out there for his First timed lap comes around, trying to hold that seam, running around the middle lane. He'll jump to 17th quickest. Down the back stretch and down into turn number 3, Jamie Dunning looks much quicker this time around. Comes across the line. See where he shakes out. He'll move up to 12th.
Yeah, just wasn't quite able to get it all the way to that white line in 3 and 4, and that's imperative for a fast lap here for qualifying. In the race, you're going to see people running that second lane all day long, but if you want to be on the top of the board, you got to hit that white line in both 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Justin White out there on his second lap now, currently 20th quickest. We've got several people who are yet to qualify. Justin White looks like he's going to hang in the 20th position. Tyler Humphrey and Justin Lumpkin now out to run. There's Justin Lumpkin in that number 4. And that Memorial Ford Mustang for Ernest Henderson. Let's take a ride with Justin Lumpkin to see how he runs this track.
So this is lap number 1, taking a higher line, just kind of a safe line. Going to put in that safe lap here on lap number 1. You work in those tires a little bit and you can be more aggressive, you know, cutting down to the bottom, and he's going to run the top in 3 and 4 here as well. But on lap 2, I expect he's going to go to the bottom of the track.
Justin Lumpkin across the line. Let's see. He drives it in this time. Looks like he's going to stay right in the middle groove. I was running that practice race with these guys, and I found a lot of speed in the middle groove, especially over the length of the run. Seemed to be, for me personally, was my favorite line to run. Gets a little bit lower in 3 and 4, but still holding those left tires on that seam. There's probably a little added grip. Let's see where Justin Lumpkin comes around, 17th on his first lap, and he moves up to 3rd.
Well, he definitely must have something in the middle groove right there, because that's a pretty fast lap for running that middle groove. So I for one could never run that middle groove. I was always on the bottom, but that definitely wears your tires out faster for the race. But if he can make that middle groove work all day long, he might have a good shot at winning this thing.
There's Casey Herring going out to qualify. He'll qualify 11th spot. Jason Humphrey in the 48. He's out there in 15th. Looks like that may be all it qualifies. I believe Bill Stringfellow is going to win our pole award. We'll see if we can get a word with Bill. Hey, Bill, it's Dakota and Kyle in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
Hey, going good. You go out there and qualify with the fast time, but I've heard you talk all week. This is not your favorite track, but you're fast here. You think you can get it done for a win?
I hope I can stay in the clean air. If I can, then maybe we'll have a chance. But
you think track position is going to mean more than tires?
I really do think that track position is going to be very vital tonight. I know dirty air here is just, it's really hard to overcome.
Yeah, in the practice race, it was hard to pass, especially if you were on even tires on the inside. So holding that outside line may be something that you're looking towards doing.
Yeah, hopefully get a little bit of a lead here and hold the outside. Anybody that tries to pass, probably burn their tires up on the inside. Seems to be the way that it's going in the practice race and all. We're going to see what we can do. I need a good finish. I feel like last week was pretty good, but we've had a couple of unfortunate incidences that's taken us out of the chance to win a couple of races already this season, so we're hoping to have a good shot tonight.
Good luck, Bill. I'll be looking forward to you getting a W.
All right, thank you. Hope to talk to y'all after the race.
All right, that's Bill Stringfellow, our pole award winner. Now let's see. There he is. There's our pole award winner. All right, let's take him through the field. So to start from your pole tonight, Bill Stringfellow in the number 83. Second spot, Lee Grandy. Third spot, Justin Lumpkin. He's going to be starting there in the number 4. And the number 51, starting 4th, that's John McMillan Jr. Blake Giglio starting 5th. Chris Carter up there in 6th spot. Travis Cremita in 7th position. Andrew Rattel going to roll off in 8th. Dylan Falovich hasn't gridded in yet, but he is 9th. 10th is Matthew Goodell.
And in 11th, we're going to have the number 2 car of Casey Herring, with the number 24 car of Henry Besaw in the 12th position. Mark True in the 73 will roll off 13th, with Jamie Lee Dunning rolling off 14th in the number 13. Jason Humphrey in the 48 will be 15th, and Nathan Maurer in the 97 will be 16th. AJ Rogers in the number 17 will be 17th, and then Jonathan Cogswell in the 27 will be 18th. Kevin Paskowicz in the number 56 will roll off 19th, and then Tyler Humphrey in the 94. Kind of a surprise to see him back in 20th. Travis White in the number 23 will roll off 21st. Ryan Smith in the 91 will be 22nd. Tristan Besaw in the 21 will be 23rd. Justin White in the number 88 will be 24th. Patrick Colby in the number 28 will be 25th. Joey Doucette in the number 22 will start 26th. Philip Forrester in the number 26 will start 27th. And Ronnie Osmer in the number 55 came from the back last week. We'll see if he can come from 28th this week. Christopher Pendell in the 6 will start 29th. Matthew Prentice will start 30th in the number 15. Kyle Adcock in the 9, Doug Neal in the 77, and Kim Janer in the 81 will round out your field.
All right, as we get ready to race here, little race info. 1.5 track. Track temperature right now at 102 degrees. So not too hot. Should be able to drive pretty well at 102 degrees, and that's going to cool down as we go through the evening. Bill Stringfellow going to be the one to bring us down to the green flag. Green flag here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
And we got a yellow right off the bat. It's going to be the number 28 of Patrick Colby spinning around.
Let's take a look at what happened. Looks like the 15 and the 22, they touch. Let's see what happened. Not sure if the 22 checked up, but the 15 runs into the back of the 22 and spins him around, and they all go around behind. 26 is well involved.
It almost kind of had a feel of maybe one of them spun their tires a little bit. The 22 maybe just spinning their tires on that upshift. I did that a number of times today. Or just too big of a run and misjudged it to the back bumper of Joey Doucette there. But either way, it's a crash on lap number 1, kind of towards the back of the field, and looks like about 3 or 4 cars involved.
Yeah, no fun to get messed up on lap 1, turn number 1. Stringfellow, he'll hold the lead. Casey Herring, he's up there starting 10th. That's probably his best starting position of the season. Is not one that typically qualifies, but already up in the top 10. Was the point leader for the first 3 races, and had some bad luck the last couple of weeks. Casey Herring already up in the top 10. He's another one that's yet to win, that we expect to win before this season's over with.
Just in that short little period of time, Mark True in the 73 gained 2 positions somehow, so good start for him. And it looks like Matthew Goodell lost two positions himself, so maybe kind of an exchange right there if Matthew Goodell didn't get quite the start he wanted.
Yeah, through all those wrecked race cars, Kim Johnner, he jumps up 9 spots from the start. Get rolling again very soon. Should be going back 1 to go this time around. You see Bill Stringfellow inside his car, pole sitter. Osmer, he's out there in front of the leader, already going to get a wave around. Got caught up by the pace car. He should get to go around this time, get back on the lead lap.
And there he goes. Not exactly sure what happened that caused him to get behind the pace car there, but he'll be on the tail end of the lead lap to start this one.
Yeah, I don't think that when we were gridding through that he was in there, so I think he may have started from the pits and was picked up by the pace car.
Yeah, he didn't qualify either, so that could very well be. Christopher Pendle in the 6 car, the only car a lap down at this point. So he'll be looking for a caution to get back on the lead lap, but all of the other 32 cars are on the lead lap here still.
To come back around through turn number 4. Looking for a green flag racing. Bill Stringfellow out front. He takes us off for the green flag. Got a big jump that time as the 7. Lee Grandy and Justin Lumpkin are battling now for second spot. Blake Giglio looking to get into that fight as well. Grandy stuck out on the outside. Giglio looking low. Everyone else seemed to have gotten singles foul, but the 4 goes sideways. Gets a little loose. Everybody kind of checking up.
Yeah, the 7 car caught the bad end of that. Granley is going to fall back about 3 or 4 positions, but then goes solid into on the outside in 1 and 2. But he had to check up to avoid getting into the 4 there, and he lost a good 3 or 4 spots there.
You know, Dylan Falovich, he was up there around 6th or 7th spot, and he had to check up big time. He ended up going through the grass and dropped all the way back to 17th position. But we stay green. Bill Stringfellow out front by 1.2 seconds. Justin Lumpkin second. Chris Carter now, he's moved up to third, now looking low under Justin Lumpkin. Side by side down into turn number 3. Chris Carter takes the spot away. Lumpkin looked like he was going to do a crossover, but
I believe it was a 55 car into the wall hard off of 4 just a moment ago.
yeah, you see some damage there to the 55. Quite a bit of damage on that right side of the car. No caution though. We continue here, lap 9. Carter almost a second and a half behind Stringfellow. Casey Herring, he's moved up to 7th position.
Dylan Falovich is all the way back to the 16th spot, so not sure if he has some damage to the car, just not to his liking early on here, but started 9th and back to 16th.
Yeah, he was kind of shoved out into the grass a little while ago. Dropped several positions. Looks like he may be having a bit of a connection issue as well. .48 of Jason Humphrey. He comes sideways off the corner, able to save it.
A big log jam from about 9th place on back to 12th as Mark True in the front of this group of cars here, but there's about 6 cars under a blanket. And a little bit further back, there's another 6 cars as the leaders have kind of broken out and created some separation.
Justin Lumpkin with a big issue. Not sure what happened. We're going to go back and take a look. To the outside of the number 7. Going down the front stretch. Gets loose. Tries to save it. Hits the grass. Then gets loose again. Drives all the way through the grass a second time. A lot of bumps. And then gets stuck down on the apron. Doesn't want to come back up in front of people. But he's back out there. But very slow. Justin Lumpkin dropping back. Big time now, all the way back to 31st position, and he was out there in 2nd spot just a few moments ago. So big issues for Justin Lumpkin in the number 4.
A good job not involving anybody else, but that'll certainly hurt his chances here today. Doesn't look like there's any damage to that car. Just needs to regain its composure and start moving forward.
Yeah, get that rhythm back. You lose that rhythm, it's will cost you seconds. Stringfellow holding the lead over Carter. Carter kind of reeling him in, about a 10th now. Giglio out there in the 3rd spot. Grandy in 4th. 5th spot, John McMillan Jr. He's holding strong. He's got a very good long run car. John McMillan, look for this guy on the long run. In that practice race, he came from way back. And as we get a few laps on our tires, you see Casey Herring was working on him just a few laps ago. Now he's working on the 7 for the 4th spot. He's going to take it.
Goodell back in the 8th spot is holding off Scramita and Rattel right now. Dunning trying to close in on this group. It was a battle for all 6 of those cars just a moment ago, but the front 3 have broken away and leaving 2 packs of 3 now. But Goodell looks like he's going to be able to come out in front of all 6 of these guys, as he seems like he has a good line through 3 and 4 that really helps him out.
Yeah, 2 sets of 3 on our screen right now. Goodell, Scramita, Rattel, and then Dunning, Basaw, and Humphrey. All kind of staying in line right now. Everybody trying to save their tires a little bit. Carter's now closed right at a second, now within a second of our leader, Stringfellow. He's running that very high lane, the Larson lane, as we like to call it.
And the 16 of Blake Giglio has been closing in a little bit per lap on both of our front two, trying to follow up his win last week. He's up 2 spots from the start of this race and up into the 3rd position, but he's just a little bit faster each lap. But you know, we'll see if he has a good long run car or if he's just pushing a little harder right now.
And McMillan, he's starting to close in on Giglio. And 51 looking good. The more laps we go, the better he gets. Now McMillan's only a 1.5 seconds behind Stringfellow. There's Casey Herring there in 6th. He's up 5 spots. Trying to run these front guys down. Mark True there in 7th. He's up 6 positions.
Casey Herring in front of him started 11th in this one up to 6th. And he is chasing down the 7 of Lee Grantley and looking to get his way into the top 5.
And Travis White, he's gained 7 positions. Now working on the 48. That's for 13th position. The 17 of AJ Rogers. He's second in points, and he's looking to try and take an advantage. And these two get real close off the corner. The 23 will drive on by the 48. Now the 17 going to look low.
Yeah, these 4 cars haven't been able to get away from each other. They've been battling each other lap after lap, and the 17 getting tight. Probably had to get out of the gas there. So hard to pass here on the bottom, but AJ Rogers, not the day he's used to having, as he didn't have qualifying speed and hasn't really been able to move his way up through the field. We'll see if he can maybe pull off some strategy to get inside the top 10.
Ryan Smith in the 91. He's having a good day today. He's in 17th position. He's gained 5 positions since we started. So we're up in the top 20 for Ryan Smith. Doing pretty well tonight. Jonathan Cogswell, he's kind of holding steady. Started 18th, currently running 18th. Some guys we're used to seeing up front, just not up there tonight. That's Nate Maurer in 21st. That bright orange Simbox car, Joey Doucette. He's running 23rd, was involved in an incident on the first lap.
One guy that started all the way at the back was Matthew Prentice, and he's up 10 spots. He's slowly just been marching his way forward, not really pressing the issue, but just broke his way into the top 20, and he's on the back bumper of Tyler Humphrey in the 94.
Chris Pendle still a lap down. He's the only car lap down currently. He's wanting a caution so he can get back on that lead lap.
Obviously, decent speed in that 6 car if he's running up there with the 20th place car. So certainly, he's certainly hoping for a caution to get back on the lead lap and get up there racing with these guys. But this has a green feel to it right now. As we've been green for 22 laps now, and we are getting close to what's probably going to be green flag pit stops here. Once you're 25 laps on these tires equals about 3 seconds of fall off per lap. So some of these guys might short pit a little bit and gain a few seconds, or up to
the 83 a little bit sideways. Good save on the 83. Yeah, these guys, this league, 4 sets of tires, so they'll have to stretch them out a little bit over this 150 laps. I thought for sure Bill was going to go around, but He saved it, but lost about 3/10 on second spot. Now there's a caution.
Ryan Smith,
Looks like
heavy damage as he's backwards into the wall in turn number 2. There was another car certainly involved in that. I couldn't quite get the number on it, but Ryan Smith getting the worst of that, it seems.
I believe it was the 6 of Chris Pendle. We'll take a look.
That was actually in turn 3, not turn 2.
Yeah, the 91 into the outside wall. He comes down into the side of the 6. See here, yep. Just tags that outside wall, and hard damage for the 91, but looks like maybe Joey Doucette may have gotten a little bit of that.
Yeah, I think the nose damage came from that car that came across his front bumper there. So probably some damage to whoever that was. As you said, 4 sets of tires for this race. Do you pit here on lap 28? If you don't, you're going to be well off the pace, but if you do, then you might be short on tires come the end of this thing when the tires really matter. But everybody coming down pit road.
Yeah, every car down pit lane. I don't see anybody staying out right now. There's Bill at the front of his pit stall. Looks like maybe the 24 missed his pit. He's going to come out first, but he'll probably have to come back in. 83 is going to be first off pit road, 25 second. Giglio come out third, Herring fourth, McMillan fifth, Mark True, Matt Goodell, Kim Johnner with a big jump.
Seven car sitting there in his pit box for quite a while, so not sure if he had damage, but he certainly is going to lose all of his track position.
Yeah, and he was up front. Kim Johnner, we may have to watch Kim Johnner gains a lot of positions on that pit stop. So he may have not taken tires. Oh, looks like he's going to go in the pit lane as well as the 24 who missed his pit. 81 may have missed his pit as well. Looks like he may have taken a faster pair.
I do believe that everybody put on their first set of fresh tires. That leaves them all free for the rest of the race.
Yeah, so a few green flag laps that time. Everybody comes, takes a set of tires, only 3 sets left. You know, mathematically, mathematically, that's going to put us close to using them all right at the end of this race, or with about 30 laps to go. I think if it was me, I would want a set left, but with as many green flag laps we had there, I'd say these guys may be a little scared to stay out there on old tires.
If you do stay out, you're going to just get passed by everybody within 2 laps, and then you're going to be hoping for, you know, caution within the next 10 so you don't go lap down. But you know, it may take some unique strategy in this race to get it done. If you average it out, 30 laps, you need to get 30 laps out of each set of tires to make it to the end. And, you know, so if you get a caution 10 laps into a run, you probably can't pit. So it's going to be really exciting to see how this all evens out. But I'm sure a lot of these drivers hoping for like a 50 lap run here just to, you know, get get to the positive on the tire side.
Yeah, and we're just under halfway through our stage. Of course, no caution for the stage, but lap 65 is what we're looking for to award some points for the top 10. Currently, Stringfellow, he's out front, led every lap so far. Going to be in charge of this restart.
And unlike what you see in real life here in Atlanta with these Cup cars, this outside can launch pretty well, and you're not at a huge disadvantage out there. So they're coming out of 4, and we'll see what we get coming to the line here.
Yeah, green flag for Bill Stringfellow. He leads him down. You see the flag man waving the flag. Stringfellow, we talked about this at Phoenix last week. Teammates with Giglio there behind him now in 3rd. And on that restart, I'm sure they were counting down as the 16 drives right around the 25. He moves into 2nd now, right behind Bill Stringfellow. And Casey Herring, he's moved up to the 4th spot. Once again, a familiar face early in the season. First 3 races, finished 2nd in all of the first 3 races. Had some bad luck in the last couple of races, but back up in the top 5 once again. Familiar place for Casey Herring. Matthew Prentice, he's up 20 positions. Gained several spots on that pit stop. He's now into the top 10.
Your top 10 have all kind of strung out here single file, but back here about the 12th position, we have 4 cars under a blanket. Make that 6, 7, 8 cars all right together as they're racing hard for the 12th position on back.
Oh, one into the outside wall, hard into the inside. That's the 21. No caution, but he's going to blow that engine. You see a lot of smoke following that car.
Yeah, he's going to lose a lap coming down to get his fast repair, assuming he has one left, but definitely a hard hit to that inside wall.
Bill Stringfellow now pulling out a little bit. You see that new iRacing smoke model. You see the smoke coming from the 21 still there, as the 83 was about a half lap behind where that smoke had originated. So pretty cool, the updates that iRacing has done in the last couple of weeks. We've got a side-by-side battle now for the 6th spot. Oh, another one spins around in the back. That was the 56, Kevin Poskowich. He gets a little sideways. Not sure if he hit anything.
I do believe he got the inside wall, but not nearly as hard as the previous time. But I do believe he got that inside wall just a little bit.
The 21 still sitting in the pits, so not sure if he had a fast repair. Looks like he's going to be repairing that damage. Travis Scramita up to 6th position around John McMillan, but John McMillan, he's looking back low. See new colors on the 89 this week of the 0X Designs car. Purple and yellow was green and orange last week, so good looking 0X Designs car.
Thing I have noticed is the 4 of Justin Lumpkin, the 3 or the 7 of Lee Grantley, the 55 of Osmer. None of those guys have been able to really work their way up through the field after they got put back into this. They're slowly, picking off one car at a time, but normally we'd see those guys, make a big move right off the restart and get back up towards the top 10 pretty quickly. But it's proven to be hard to pass here. Grantley having a really hard time, and he can't get past anybody on that bottom side.
Yeah, Justin Lumpkin, he's back up to 13th. Had dropped back down to all the way into the 30s. But now that he's gotten up to 13th, not been able to move really, kind of holding steady in this area. Nate Maurer up in front, trying to get a run on Matt Goodell. He'll shoot to the bottom. That outside line, it's going to prevail off the corner. You see Goodell gets a run. Maurer trying to hold low, but Goodell going to clear him. And that most likely is burning up the 97's tires more than it is the 38. Trying to dive it down low like that.
Yeah, certainly. When you're trying to pass low here, it just eats up your tires, and you can't use all that room up off the corner, so you have to pinch it lower, and just makes it really hard to pass here if that guy can run that outside lane with any effectiveness, and it's hard to work your way up through the field.
So we see Stringfellow pulling out to almost a second advantage. Now Giglio having a little trouble from Carter. Starting to reel him in a little bit. Now about 5 car lengths behind him. Now about 3 car lengths behind him. Giglio running the middle groove, and 25 all the way up on the outside. We're seeing multiple grooves come into effect here as you see all those cars coming off the corner 2 and 3 wide. Now John McMillan, I talked about him having a long run car, and the 89 had passed him early in the run. Now the 51 works his way back around the 89. Mark True, he's on the outside trying to work Casey Herring. Now Casey's going to slide up in front.
And going back to that 4 of Justin Lumpkin, he's still kind of stuck on the bottom trying to get around the 97 Nathan Maurer, but he has a lot of pressure from behind by Dylan Falowich, and 4 cars under a blanket there from 12th to 15th.
Yeah, Falovich, we saw him through the grass earlier. But he's moved his way back up. Currently in 13th. Only about, he just needs to get into that top 10 to try and get a couple of bonus points for the stage. Got about 20 laps left to get in there, into that top 10. And Travis White, he's gained 11 positions to currently hold that 10th position in the number 23. His teammate right behind him in the Simbox Chevrolet, that's the number 97 of Nate Maurer, coming strong. Finally got around the 38 of Goodell. Now he's charging towards the top 10. Matthew Prentice up there in the 15. He's gained a lot of positions, 21 to be exact. He's in 9th, able to hold it up here in the top 9. Now McMillan Jr. trying to get around Mark True. He's working the bottom. Mark True, very good at holding that outside line and keeping people from being able to pass him.
Falowich able to get to the outside of Goodell there, and he's going to make the pass. And Jamie Dunning trying to follow him through.
He may do that. Everybody on the outside of Matt Goodell right now.
Lumpkin also going to follow him through, and the 7 of Lee Grantley also going to look on the outside. So bad place to be on the inside, getting passed by all these cars as Goodell is experiencing right now. Was in the top 10 a minute ago and all the way back to 13th. Actually make that 15th is he trying to squeeze up in front of the 7 car right now, and he will be able to do so, but definitely definitely a hard spot there for Goodell as he gets passed by 3 different cars.
And up front, we got a little bit of a battle. The 16 of Giglio, he's now pulled within 3/10. A Stringfellow who had pulled out to over a second lead. So he's running him down, surely. And back here, a battle for third. Herring goes around Carter. Casey Herring now into the 3rd spot. With 15 laps to go in the stage, we're going to see if Herring can run these top 2 down. Giglio now only 2/10 behind Stringfellow. But I know Bill, he's going to make Blake work for it. Even though they're teammates, I guarantee you with stage points on the line, Bill's not going to give it up. Bill going to hold the outside line, going to make Blake go low.
Catching and passing, certainly 2 different things at this racetrack, and Stringfellow going to take away that top side, and Giglio can make a choice here, and that do I ride behind the 83 and just accept myself in second and save these tires, or do I really go for that pass to try to get the lead right now and risk burning these tires up? You burn these tires up, you can go from second to 6th or 7th before the end of the stage is over.
Yeah, Giglio keeping the pressure on. Just over 2/10. And when Giglio got down to the inside of the 83 and was down on the bottom and the 83 up high, you could really see the 83 pull off the corner and gained about a 1/10 and a half. Now Giglio back to within 2/10. We'll have to see when he decides to make his move.
Just behind them, Herring, Carter, and McMillan are all battling for position. Herring able to get out there, but McMillan looking to make the pass on Carter here, and I think he just got it done. Oh no, he's going to have to slide in behind, but he's been working him over for a couple of laps. Haven't been able to get past him.
Yeah, I look for McMillan with 10 laps left in the stage. I think he's got a shot of getting up to the 3rd spot if he can get around the 25 in the next couple of laps. 51, great on these long runs here at Atlanta.
Taking away the top like that, you have 2 options. You can either drive it really hard down into the bottom and try to slide up in front of him, or you can drive it right in on his door and up the track a little bit and then cut it down to the bottom and try to get a better run off. Both of which are risky and cannot work, but those are really the kind of 2 options when a guy's taking away the top side like that, unless he makes a mistake.
Yeah, McMillan doesn't want to burn those tires up because he knows he's got a hot rod. Looking once again to the inside of the 25. Just not able to make it stick and get the run off the corner he needs. The 25, he's now going to go on the attack of the 2.
10 laps to go before the stage is over, and Giglio just kind of chilling behind Stringfellow in 1st and 2nd right now. Just 0.3 of a second back. Hasn't really been looking to make any moves. Just kind of riding behind him and keeping their gap over 3rd place.
Blake may be waiting a couple of laps, trying to make a move right at the end of the stage, letting those tires cool down a little bit. And in our recruitment races, as we were building this league, the number 28 of Patrick Colby actually won our race here at Atlanta, but having a rough night tonight as he's about to go a lap down. You see the leaders just behind him.
That is one thing we don't see a whole lot of, is lap traffic start to become an issue at all, but this long green flag run is playing out here, and lap traffic can be difficult to get around. If you start getting into heavy lap traffic, that could be the chance for Giglio to get around Stringfellow.
Yeah, it certainly could be the difference maker. They're catching a couple of lap cars, and there's a gap around these two after that. But Giglio now pulls up to within 2/10. He's trying to get another run, gets a little loose off the corner.
Dylan Falovich has made his way up into the 10th position, so he keeps on moving forward. Matthew Prentice also into the 9th position from a 30th starting position. Those two are your final two receiving points right now with just 5 laps to go in the stage.
Those two doing a little bumping. The outside line looks like it's really starting to come in quite a bit. But now the 97, he looks like he's going to try and follow the 12 through for that final point.
See if Prentice has anything on the bottom here to hold him off, but it might be better just to get him behind and try to set him up for a pass over these next couple laps. Maurer is going to make that pass coming up off of 2. He is clear, so into the 10th position goes Maurer. Prentice will have 4 laps to get it done.
We're side by side for the lead. Giglio looking low. 83. He's holding the outside. He's going to clear him once again. Giglio putting major pressure on his teammate right now for the lead and for the stage win. Once again, that stage at lap 65, currently on lap 63. We may be witnessing a little bit of something like we saw in the NASCAR race earlier, where Larson kind of burnt those tires up. Blaney run him down, and right now Giglio all over the back of Bill Stringfellow. Now looks to the inside one more time. Down low, Stringfellow gonna hold the outside line. The 16 gets a little bit tight, has to lift just a touch, as he's gonna drop back 2/10 once again, now with just 2 laps left in the stage.
Yeah, Giglio certainly faster than Stringfellow, but really hard to make that pass happen here on the bottom side. So he'll get one more opportunity as it a lap and a half left in the stage right here. Probably get one more shot on the last lap as he reels him back in right now.
Three-tenths back, Stringfellow out there out front. Giglio may have burned those tires up a little bit. We come down to our stage 1 to go.
Like Stringfellow is going to score the stage win as he has a 3 or 4 car length gap over Giglio right now. And Herring is...
See smoke?
Oh.
You'll see smoke out there. 56 slow on the outside, but no caution. The 83 will be our stage winner. Bill Stringfellow. Not sure what happened with the 56 there. He moves back down to the inside. But Stringfellow, he'll get first. Giglio second. Casey Herring third. Carter fourth. McMillan fifth. True sixth. Rattel. And seventh, Scramita. Eighth, Falovich in ninth. And Maurer. They'll round out the top 10 for the stage. And as we continue racing, no stage break in the Southern Excitement Racing League. We'll get to see Giglio come up here and try and work over Stringfellow once again on these older tires. They run about 30 laps on their first set. We're now 37 laps in on their second set of tires.
The fuel here can go about 60 laps from what I've from what I calculated, but I don't know if the tires are going to hold on here for 60 laps or not. I think 50 laps might be where a lot of these guys start to looking at hitting pit road.
Yeah, you've got a big point there as the these tires going to wear out very quick. Already 39 laps on these tires, but we see Giglio now closing in once again on Stringfellow. Now looking to the inside through the tri-oval. Got a good run out of the corner. They're going to be side by side down into turn number 1. Looks like we may have a couple already pitting. The 17 coming off pit lane there.
Yeah, and AJ Rogers not having the day he would like. Maybe this is a strategy play for him. Stringfellow 2.5 seconds slower last lap than he was on his fastest lap of this race. So a huge amount of fall off on these tires. And if you want to gamble, you can certainly make up a lot of time on the racetrack by pitting early. But once everyone else pits, you're going to be on old tires and trying to hang on.
There's our first taker, Nate Maurer. He pits out of the 10th position. He heads down pit lane. Ronnie Osmer also in pit lane.
Yeah, all guys from a little bit further back. I think Maurer was running 10th when he came down pit road. So leader's still staying out there and running a few more laps. But
I have a feeling that these guys are going to try and stretch until they see several cars come in. Now Mark True, he heads down pit lane. As well as the 94, Tyler Humphrey. Starting to see green flag pit stops. Leaders have about 20 laps of fuel remaining. We'll have to see how much longer they stay out there. Giglio, he's now trying to get around to the 83 on the outside. Looks like he's going to stick his nose in. Oh, not able to make it stick. 83 gets back in front of him. But you're going to see just how much tires make a difference. You see the 55 of Osmer just come off pit road, and he gains a lot of time on those new tires. So Nate Maurer, he may, as he pitted from 10th, it may be a big difference.
And the caution is out. So that's going to catch the 55 a lap down. The 7 was battling heavily with the 23 of Travis White, and the 7 with a lot of front end damage right now. Not exactly sure what happened there. I just saw a couple of cars down in the inside wall, and the 7 got the worst of it.
Let's take a look. What happened to the 7? Yeah, 2 or 3 cars involved. They come off the corner. It's like the 23 tags the outside wall. He gets, once he tags that wall sends you to the inside and spins the 7 around. The 23 goes back to the outside wall. The 38 and the 56 innocent bystanders, they're just trying to make it through.
7 pretty much had it saved until he got hit a second time there, but certainly unfortunate there. The 7 and the 23 were battling hard for about 10 straight laps there. I was watching them on my screen, and they the 7 just couldn't get around him, and then he ends up, the 23 just pushes it a little bit too hard off of the corner. 7 is going to have to use his faster pair.
Yeah, 23. Over the long run, these cars get a little bit tight. And these safer barriers are like a springboard. You hit those outside walls and they shoot you across the track. It's very hard to hold on to. We see a lot of people going down pit lane, looks like. Now coming off pit road, everybody is on pit lane. Everybody taking 4 tires. And Nate, he'll take a wave around. He's sitting there in 23rd position. He's going to have to take a wave around. Had pitted, as well as Doug Neal and Mark True. All these cars going to have to take the wave around to get back around onto the lead lap. Now these guys have used 2 sets of tires. Herring now, he's up there. He got around Giglio on the pit stop, which is probably good for Giglio, as he's teammates with the 83. The 83 going to be the control car on the restart. I'm sure they'll be counting down.
It appears that the drivers 22nd through 26th will all take the wave around here, as they had just pitted before that, and that's going to be the 97 of Nathan Maurer, the 73 of Mark True, the 77 of Doug Neal, the 94 of Tyler Humphrey, and the 55 of Ronnie Osmer, all out in front of our leader right now. So they'll get the wave around come one to go and to get back on the lead lap, and that'll leave 26 cars on the lead lap. Certainly 5 or 6, maybe even 7 cars getting stuck a lap down there with that caution coming out when it did. Strategy not paying off for them.
No, and now they'll have to do a wave around, and they'll have about 6-7 laps more on their tires. Fuel probably not going to be a big factor, but those tires going to be a major factor. You see these cars getting going on around the pace car. Matt Goodell takes a late pit stop here. Trying to get a little more damage repaired for the 38. Casey Herring, he's in there now in 2nd spot. And I really think that on this restart, you're going to see Stringfellow and Giglio working together once again.
Yeah, they did it really well last week, and that resulted in a 16 getting a win. So 16 going to try to repay the favor to the 83 this week and give him a good push on this start.
As they come down, 83, the control car. He's going to go a little bit late that time. That's going to hold the 2 and the 16 side by side. Stringfellow going to get out, but not by much. Giglio, he does go around. Casey Herring, he's going to slip back a little bit. Now to 4th, and now having to battle to keep 4th position away from Travis Scramita. '89 down low with a good run through the corner. The 2 of Herring going to get a run on the outside. He is going to hold down the 4th position. Their single file is now the 25. He looks below Giglio for the 2nd position. Giglio going to let him have it. He says, you go up there and try and get around Bill. I can't do it. As we're over halfway, 80 of 150.
Yeah, these guys have certainly been able to keep it straight for the most part today. A couple of incidents, but 2 long green flag runs here. We got 1 car low on the back stretch after he got into the wall. Gonna check up. That's a 13 of Jamie Dunning.
Yeah, he slows down a little bit. That'll move Dunning back to 15th.
He had made his way all the way up to 9th, and he was marching forward, but coming off the corner there, just couldn't quite make it work and lose the 6th position, but he's back going.
Carter right now, the fastest car on the track, as he's trying to get to our leader, Bill Stringfellow. Bill, as far as I know, has led every lap so far. I don't believe anybody else has gotten up there to lead one.
Yeah, the only one might have been when that guy accidentally missed his pit box, but Carter is a little bit faster than Bill, but so is Giglio on that last run, and the 16 couldn't get around him. See if Bill Stringfellow can absorb the pressure for this entire run, as it looks like that 25 is going to be right on his back bumper for the time being.
Yeah, and if Stringfellow can hold off the 25 of Carter for another few laps, he's going to burn those tires up. Now Carter trying to get a little bit of a side draft. You see these top three have absolutely pulled away from the field. It's Carter now getting around the inside. 83 going to get a run. I believe the 83 led that lap. Side by side through 1 and 2.
For Carter there, coming off 4 that last lap and coming off 2 right now, you're just waiting for your spotter to say clear, and he's going to get into him in the 83 up into the wall. He's going to fall back to 3rd. Looks like Carter used up the 83 a little bit right there and forced him to the outside wall.
Yeah, quite a bit of damage. Looks like maybe on the right front. Yeah, a little bit of damage. Yeah, actually quite a bit of damage on the front of the 83 of Stringfellow. He's falling back now. The 89 into the outside wall, trying to get around. 83 again up now into the outside wall, trying to let these guys by. That's heartbreaker for the 83. And we've seen it a couple of times. He's gotten out front, led a lot of laps, and then always something happens. Not able to hold it. Like a couple weeks ago, led so many laps, had a power issue, and ended up cutting his computer off. But now he's going to find himself back in 15th, just trying to hold on. It's going to be difficult to drive back up through there.
Yeah, that might lead to some hard feelings between Bill there and Christopher Carter. Bill had run the perfect first half of this race, and just running his race and running that top side, making it hard to pass, and just kind of got used up off the corner there and have some damage. But a caution, he might be able to get back into this with his fast repair. But right now, just kind of hanging on. He's back to the 15th position.
Yeah, unfortunate. But right now, the battle for 3rd. These guys 3 seconds behind the front 2. Herring trying to push and get around the 89.
A couple of really big movers in this race up inside the top 10. The 23 of Travis White up from 21st to 6th. And Matthew Prentice has been right around that 8th or 9th spot for quite a while, but he started 30th and drove his way up there. And Cogswell also up 9 spots from the 18th position, inside the top 10 and 9th right now. Those 3 all right around each other and moving their way forward still.
Yeah, still got a few spots that they can gain. Looks like 3rd and 4th starting to get within. They were 3.5 seconds from the lead. Now about 2.5 seconds from the lead. Starting to reel in the front group once again. As I would say, Carter may have used up those tires a little bit on the short run, getting out to such a lead.
Casey Herring in the 4th position. He's just been kind of riding there quietly. Haven't mentioned his name a whole lot up here, but he's been impressive here today, and he's shown some long speed or long run speed, as he's kind of just been marching forward as these runs go on, and he's on the back bumper of Travis Kamita trying to get into 3rd right now.
McMillan now on the outside of Casey Herring, trying to get into the 4th spot. These guys racing hard side by side. The 2 of Casey Herring and the 51 of John McMillan Jr. And that outside lane has prevailed quite a bit today. Looks like Casey gonna be able to hold the spots. Does a little bit of a slide job off the corner.
Got to feel sorry for Casey as his UNC Tar Heels got eliminated in the 1st round of March Madness yesterday. He has that UNC logo on his hood.
Giglio now starting to close in on Carter. We'll see if he can get around Carter easier than he could Stringfellow. Stringfellow, he's continually dropping now back to the 17th spot.
It does seem like Giglio has a little bit more speed and a little bit more long run speed than Carter does, and I will say this, Giglio probably not going to be as friendly with Carter as he was with his teammate Stringfellow back, at the end of that stage. And as we wind down to the end of this thing, if he has an opportunity, he's probably going to take it more so over the 25 than he would have on the 83.
Yeah, especially after the incident involving the 25 and his teammate, the 83. And, in those situations, it doesn't matter who's at fault. It's never your teammate's fault. So I'm sure 16 has that on his mind. We're watching the 51 of the 2 battle side by side once again. McMillan's done a great job of keeping his car inside the top 5 most of the night. Trying to get this 4th spot away from Casey Herring.
Herring's been able to hang tough on the bottom side here a number of times over McMillan, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it this time as McMillan has it run off at 2.
Yeah, big run for McMillan down the backstretch. Herring still got a nose in there. Not able to slide all the way to the bottom from McMillan. This may be the corner he gets it. Yes, the 2 slides up behind the 51. The 51 of McMillan now into the 4th spot and trying to run down these guys right in front of him, as they're trying to run down the front 2. Skrmita now within 2 seconds. So this back group beginning to reel in the front 2 leaders. You see this field is just so spread out right now.
Back in the 14th and 15th spots, you have Doucette and Maurer, and they both took the wave around on that last caution. They've been able to drive their way forward, even though they had a couple laps on their tires when they took the wave around. But Maurer's just been kind of following Doucette up through the field, and their next victim is Jamie Dunning. He's about a second ahead of those 2.
Looks like Dunning may have tagged the wall a little bit right there as he was a little squirrely down the back stretch. Stringfellow, he's all the way back to 18th spot. All that damage on the right side. He's probably looking for when he can come in and take a set of tires and a fast repair. Trying to just hold on as long as he can. He's about a third of a lap down. Looks like McMillan slipping back.
whole line of cars there surrounding McMillan. Lee Grantley has been able to work his way up into the 10th position. He's at the back of this line of cars. Still trying to recover from an incident earlier where he had to stay on pit road longer than everybody else on that first pit stop. Just hasn't been able to quite work his way up through the field like he'd want to, but it seems like he has a fast car if he can get that track position back.
Yeah, we watched the replay of the 51. He got loose coming off of turn number 2 and allowed 2 or 3 guys to get around him. Now he'll have to battle his way back. Now sitting 7th, was up to 4th, so he's going to have to battle his way back around. These 2 cars in front of him battling side by side. That's the 23 of Travis White having a great night. Andrew Rattel in 6th. These guys battling. Rattel, that outside line may prevail here. And it will. The 23 slides up in between the 5 and the 51.
If I'm anywhere near the front of this line of cars, I'm protecting the top at all costs because you will get freight trained if you get stuck on the bottom. And Bill Stringfellow going to hit pit road here is repair that damage and try to get back into it with a little bit of strategy.
Yeah, but he's already a lap down, so we'll have to see. Looks like he's sitting there for quite some time. He did take a fast repair. So interesting that he's sitting there for so long. Was running in the 18th spot.
Yeah, that's certainly going to take him out of it. I thought maybe with a little bit of pit strategy there, you might have a shot, but certainly sitting in his pit box for way too long to have any say in winning this race again. But Jonathan Cogswell is another one in that number 27 who's marched his way up. He's part of this big pack here, and he's up to the 8th position right now, make it 9th as he's battling side by side with Prentice.
We got a battle for the lead. Giglio, he looked low for a minute. He's trying to put pressure on that 25 of Carter. Not quite able to get there. Stringfellow, he's going to fall 3 laps down now to 30th, so not sure why he spent so much time in the pits, but he's back out on track now.
Still 23 cars on the lead lap. Matthew Goodell in 38, the final car on the lead lap right now, but kind of have little groups of cars spread throughout this pack, but from 4th back to 10th is pretty tight pack there. And if somebody could have saved their tires a little bit more, they have the possibility of driving up and becoming a factor in this race.
Yeah, McMillan trying to get around the 23, just I think where he slipped and slid around turn number 2 there a few laps ago and slid down onto the apron. His tires used up a little bit more than we're used to seeing for the 51 on the long run. Now he's having to hold off the 7 of Lee Grandy. And no chance, the 7 right around the 51. I'll put Grandy now in the 7 up to the 7th position. One sideways, that's Joey Doucette. He's able to hold it. Doesn't go all the way around. Doucette now back to the 16th spot.
To come down and pit right now, it would effectively cut the rest of this race in half from when we last pitted. It would be 40 laps to go coming around this time, and we pitted with 78. At lap 78 was when we went back green, so certainly going to be expecting some green flag pit stops to happen here very soon. Remember, some drivers got caught out by green flag pit stops last time. You don't want to have that happen, but you pit a couple laps early, and it could be the difference from, you know, Matthew Prentice running 9th right now to jumping up to 4th if he can just pit 1 lap earlier than everybody else.
There's the 83 of Stringfellow. 3 laps down, trying to make his way back up through the field. Not sure if he's going to be able to get any of his laps back. He's got several cars in front of him that's a lap down.
If I'm Blake Giglio here, I think I'd pit when the 25 does and just try to be a little bit better on pit road. He's faster on the racetrack than him, and I think he has the upper hand, and he's just kind of biding his time. I think I come down the exact same lap as that 25 if I'm the 16, and just try to maintain that gap or pass him on pit road. We got the 51 spinning out, trying to come to pit road.
Yeah, hard into the inside wall. He backs up in front of a couple of 2. Hits him while he's sitting on pit road. A lot of cars came down pit road that time. Let's take a look here. What happened to the 51? He comes off. Looks like he may have just come in there just a little bit hot. Tries to get checked up. Andrew Rattel, Lee Grandy in this time. Yeah, and he barely made the commitment cone. He hit the cone at the end of pit road, so I'm not sure if that's a penalty or not. And a penalty in itself, just wrecking.
Assuming that the 15 of Matthew Prentice didn't get a speeding penalty or anything, having to avoid that, he will be the first one that came down pit road in the running order, so we'll see where he cycles out of this. He's gonna, you know, have 2, 3, 4 laps maybe over these leaders when it's all said and done, as you see Giglio looking under Carter here in 3 and 4, but that 15 could be your leader, but he's going to be on older tires, and we'll see if he can hold off there.
Yeah, the 16, he got to the inside of Carter, wouldn't let him pit. Giglio's going to head down the pit lane this time, and that's going to be a little bit of an advantage over the 25. And these cars out front had a 2-second lead over third, so they could afford to stay out an extra couple of laps. But Scramita, he's still out there running, currently in the 2nd position after the 16 pits. Carter, he's down on the bottom, but he's locking him up. He's not going to make pit lane. He's going to miss. I think that's going to be a penalty as he goes out into the grass and then around the outside of the cone. So I believe that's going to be a penalty for the 25 as he missed pit road. Travis, he'll come down pit road behind him. So we'll have to see if it penalizes Carter. And he slides through his pit box as well, so not a good pit sequence for the 25.
I think he might have just gave up any shot at winning this race right there, as that's definitely going to be an unsafe pit entrance for him, and he's going to have to do a pass-through penalty, if not a stop and hold. But that's going to give the advantage to Blake Giglio, and no one's really been able to run up there with him. Anyone that's going to, come out around him hasn't been able to, match his pace.
Yeah, the 89, he pulls out of the pits, and the 25's just sitting in pit lane. Giglio, he goes around to see the 89 coming out of the pit lane there. The 2, a distant second to the 16 now. Oh, Lord, the 24 pitting. Not sure if he told the 16. That's going to check up the 16 hard.
I believe he is able to stay out of the back of the 24 and stay out of the outside wall, so crisis averted for the 16, and he had a little bit of a lead there, so, but definitely a moment that you don't want to have if you're one of the fastest cars out here and on pace to win.
Yeah, absolutely not. One into the inside. That looked like Prentice. He's going to tag the inside wall pretty hard. tagged the outside wall and then really tagged the inside wall. Quite a bit of damage to the left front of the 15. And like you said, he was one that had come in and pitted a little bit earlier and was trying to get a bit of an advantage.
Yeah.
We've got 5 cars out there right now that haven't pitted. They're trying to wait for a caution.
Yeah, Blake Giglio is the first of all the cars who have pitted, so he will cycle back around to the lead with Casey Herring about a second and a half behind him currently right now running, and he'll be in the second position. Travis White looking like he'll be in the third spot, with Rattel and Skermita looking like they'll cycle into fourth and fifth.
Joey Doucette getting out there leading some laps. Once again on old tires. Ronnie Osmer up there as well. These guys trying to get a caution, because if they stay out long enough, then everybody that just pitted will have to pit for tires again. Then these guys will have a tire advantage if we got another caution.
Yeah, risky strategy, but they weren't really involved in this one anyway, so just trying something here. They have, 20 seconds over Giglio right now, does Doucette, so he has some time to give up to make this work, but I don't know how much fuel he has left in that gas tank.
Yeah, the top 5 currently: Doucette, Osmer, Forrester, Colby, and Goodell. Yeah, that looks like most of these cars have damage, have been running towards the back of the pack in a lot of this race, so really kind of rolling the dice, trying to get some luck to go their way.
Got the 24 around in turn number 3. The 7
that's going to be a caution.
A little bit. And that's the caution that those front 5 were looking for. I'm thinking Lee Grantley had to have had a pit road issue, as he was being shown 3 laps down, because he was up front with those guys just a little while ago before those pit stops, but 24 just kind of kept on coming down over the nose of the 7 there on the backstretch. Not exactly sure why, but that does bring out our caution and sets our top 5 up in pretty decent position here.
Yeah, not really sure on that one. As the 24 comes down a little bit, and the 7 appears to have held his line.
We do have takers on pit road right now. Obviously, the top 5 all came in, and it looks like everyone behind him did too. I see Giglio coming into his pit box.
Looks like a few guys. Yep. Travis White out. Casey Herring out. Up front. They may not have taken tires. Blake Giglio, he comes all the way out in 12th spot.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to wait, see how all of this cycles out, and who's on what tires. But if you did stay out there, you're definitely going to be on a disadvantage of tires right now. But Giglio is out of tires, who's been our fastest, remaining guy in this race up front. He is out of tires, so if we get another caution, as we still have 25 laps to go, if we get a caution after any length of time, he's going to be the one with the disadvantage, as a number of other drivers with a set of tires remaining.
Stringfellow, he's now going to be one lap down after all that when he's going to take a wave around here. So, had he not spent so much time in the pits, maybe he'd be on the lead lap right now.
And I believe that our top 4 stayed out. That's Travis White, Casey Herring, Dylan Falovich, and Tyler Humphrey. I believe they all stayed out. I know Joey Doucette came in, but he still has a set of tires remaining, as does Ronnie Osmer. And Blake Giglio back in the 11th position. He had a little bit of issues on pit road there that lost him a couple spots, but he certainly has the fastest car, but he's put on his last set of tires. He'll have to drive up through the field and hope we don't get a caution.
Yeah, those guys that stayed out, I mean, they were rolling the dice, and it certainly worked out for them. But as we look, as we're running right now, you know, we've had 5 races so far, 5 different winners. Currently, nobody in the top 10 has won a race this season. The first guy who's won a race is 11th. That's Blake Giglio. And 13th, Travis Scramita. So we are poised to possibly get another winner as we are about to finish up our 4th caution. We've got 25 laps to go. And Travis White going to be leading us out here in that number 23.
These front 4 are on older tires, and they're going to be slower on this restart. They're probably going to get eaten up by these guys behind them, and so those top 4 certainly hoping for another caution to get that last set of tires and get a chance to come back into it. I don't think they're going to be able to hold off the 22 and the 55 who are starting in the 3rd row here.
Travis White going to be the control car on this restart. We get down to the restart zone, the 23 with a good restart. But like you said, how long can they hold on? The 55 of Osmer wasting no time. He's already around the 94, now looking to the inside of the 12 of Falovich. 12 going to hold it all the way up on that outside lane, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold off Osmer. They're side by side now for the 3rd spot.
I thought the 55 would have, but he also hasn't necessarily been running up front and gets a little bit loose there coming off at 2 and is going to have to slide back into 4.
Prentice around. He's around twice. He's sitting on the infield. No caution. He got loose off the corner, goes to the inside, does a little overcorrecting, and then once again into the inside wall. Not a terrible hit, but that's going to have quite a bit of an effect on that car.
55 of Osmer is just into the outside wall. And Giglio just stuck back here behind the 94 right now. He's going to go to the outside and try to get around. He was on the bottom of 3 wide a minute ago and just can't quite work his way forward. These guys
on the ground, the 94 with the older tires.
These guys up front are hanging on a lot better than I thought that they were going to. Joey Doucette, the first one on brand new tires. Actually made that Patrick Colby the first one on brand new tires in the 28, running 4th. But those top 3 hanging on. They've been fast all day, so you know. But Blake Giglio not able to make his way up through the field yet.
Doucette, he's on the outside of the 2, and he's just going to power right by these guys. He's got fresh tires. He goes right around the outside of the 2. Looks like he may block the 28 a little bit. That's going to help the 22s. Now he goes to the inside of the 23. We've got a new race leader, Joey Doucette, now into the lead. That 22 Menard Chevrolet Patrick Colby, he's one we mentioned earlier, won our recruitment race right here at Atlanta. He was a name that we had circled as a potential first-time winner this week, and he's up here in the second spot. Had to have a little luck to get here, getting that caution at the right time, but he's using it to his advantage. Now he drives to the inside of the 22. These guys side by side for the lead. Patrick Colby now, new leader in the 28 of Patrick Colby.
Yeah.
It took a few laps, but these tires really showing an advantage now, Kyle.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Travis White's still holding on to the third position, but he's under attack from Andrew Attell and Matthew Goodell also trying to work his way up through there. And the
hard wreck, Rick.
Spun.
Yeah, caution on the Speedway. 13 looked like he was in it.
73 got into it at the end. It looks like the 16 got a little bit of damage from that as well.
I saw the 55 harden to the outside wall. Let's see if we can see what happened here. Oh, the 38 of Goodell looked like he may have gotten up into the outside wall.
Yeah, he was kind of looking on the outside like 3 wide and then hits the wall and gets the 55 right in the right rear and hooks him head on into the wall and nowhere, and a lot of people with nowhere to go.
Yeah, on a big wreck there, the 38 tags that outside wall, and a lot of cars go around.
Might have got out of that without too much damage, but he's out of tires, so we'll see if everyone else decides to come down and get their tires right now. The 2 car going to take his tires, as well as the 23 of Travis White. The 28 and the 22 still have a set of tires remaining. But they decide to stay out here.
Yeah, Dunning was involved in that wreck, but he stays out here. Now we're going to be in 6th spot. Yeah, Colby they got a few laps on the tires, about 10 laps, and that's going to make a difference. And Travis White, Casey Herring going to come out in 7th spot with new tires, and Travis White in 8th. So we may see another caution here as we see these tires trying to drive through the field, trying to get around the slower cars. Colby, Doucette, Rattel in the 5, Giglio, Nate Maurer, and Jamie Dunning, they all stay out.
I believe Travis White is going to be the first one on 4 fresh tires in the 12th position. Make that the 8th position.
I think Casey Herring is well pitted there. He's 7th. So I think we're going to see Casey and Travis White trying to make their way through the field. White held on pretty good on the older tires, but the field got stacked up behind him, and they all go crashing out of turn number 2.
Herring a little bit of damage on the left rear there. Not sure how long that's been there, but yeah, they're going to start side by side on the 4th row, behind a kind of a ranging number of laps on tires. I believe that most of the guys in front of them came down on that last caution, and that was only about 6 or 7 laps of green flag racing. We're going to go back green with, I believe, either 13 or 12 laps remaining in this race. Maybe those, we'll see if those tires up front can hold on for 12 laps.
Yeah, Patrick Colby, I mean, has run a good race so far, now in the lead. I believe we're going to go 1 to go this time around. As they start getting double file here. Looks like they will be. 14 to go right now, so we should be going green on 13 to go. We'll have to see just how quickly these guys can make it up through the field. Of course, you know, Giglio there, he knew that he wasn't going to make it through the field there a few minutes ago, having a little bit fresher tires, so he's hoping the same fate for these guys behind him, and maybe he can squeeze his way through these front couple of cars and get that number 16 out front.
Yeah, I think he got a little tiny bit of damage from that wreck, but doesn't really look too bad on his nose there. So, you know, he gained a number of spots with that accident happening. He's up to the 4th position and probably going to be really aggressive on this restart, as that's his only opportunity to win this race.
Patrick Colby going to be the lead car. He takes off. Oh, looks like the 13 not able to go.
Yeah, he got up into the outside wall, and that's going to bring a caution out as he collected a lot of other cars heading down into turn 1.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him stay out. Let's take a look and see what happened on that restart.
The 22 is one of the cars around, as is the 2 of Casey Herring. So 2 of our favorites wrecked on the backstretch. That had to have been a separate incident from this one, because those 2 guys were running up front.
Yeah, it looks like the 22 gets into the outside wall, pushing hard off the corner, and he comes down into the 2.
Right behind the back bumper of the 16 there. Looks like they collect a 3rd car on the inside that maybe got incidented out.
Yeah, the 22 and the 2. A lot of damage there.
Caution is playing into the hands of Patrick Colby and Andrew Attell up front, as they still have a few laps older tires, and they're only going to have to hold off the field for probably 8 laps now. A weird and exciting restart as 2 separate incidents. One kind of back in the field with, you know, the 13 having some damage and not being able to go and hit the outside wall, and then the other one, you know, 2 of our front runners that had a chance to win this thing getting caught up, you know, kind of after the original caution came out. So that certainly changed the way that this race is going to be at the, you know, for these final 7 or 8 laps.
Yeah, the 2 was one that we kind of expected to get up through here and maybe have a shot at winning on those new tires, but he finds himself back in 13th position now. So he had to come in and take a fast repair.
He'll certainly charge up and maybe get a top 10 out of it, but I think his shots of winning have gone away.
Yeah, several cars on pit lane with a lot of damage and no fast repairs remaining.
Felt like we've had a whole lot of incidents in this race, but just 15 cars remaining on the lead lap. And part of that is due to these long green flag runs and guys going a lap down, but certainly a lot of guys with damage that no longer have fast repairs either.
Only 10 laps to go. This is, like you said a minute ago, playing into Patrick Colby's hands. He's going to have control on this restart. Andrew Rattel, a new name up here in the top 5. All these incidents happening here in the last few minutes. Nate Maurer, he finds himself up in the top 3. Blake Giglio, he's still in 4th. Chooses not to pit once again.
The 5 and the 97 kind of came out of nowhere. I haven't seen them, up front in this battle too much, and but they find themselves in 2nd and 3rd, and I'm not sure if they have, brand new fresh tires or how many laps they have on their tires. I, didn't keep track of those two, but either one of those two could certainly pull out a win here.
Yeah, we may have an upset win today. Certainly a great chance at having another first-time winner in the Southern Excitement Racing League.
We are going to restart with 8 laps to go here. See if we have a full 8 laps under green, or if these guys are really aggressive, as you would expect with just 8 laps going, and we have another incident.
28 of Patrick Colby going to be the control car once again. We'll see how good of a restart that he can get here. As he takes it green. Going to get ahead of the 5. The 5's going to try and drop down, but the 97 there.
Got the 48 up into the outside wall, and that's going to bring out another caution.
Take a look and see what happened there. Like the 89 involved as well. '89 actually hits the outside wall. Kind of comes down into the 48. I think the 89 was down on power as he was missing a hood, but he hits that outside wall and comes down into the 48.
I feel like he was almost trying to give too much room there as he got taken 3 wide heading down into turn 1, and just really got a piece of that wall and threw him down the track into the 48 there. Easy to do when you're just trying to stay out of everyone's way and you end up making a mistake like that. But that's going to leave us with probably about 4 laps to go when we go back green, maybe 3 laps. So Patrick Colby having this play right into his hands, as the leader has a clear advantage on every restart, as he's the one that gets to decide when to go. And you get out to that big lead, you get that big jump on the field is what happens most of the time, and it's going to be hard to catch Patrick Colby.
Patrick Colby out front, and only going to have maybe 4 laps of green if we can get it going here, as we've had 4 cautions in the first 125, 130 laps of this race, and then now 3 cautions in the last 20 laps. These guys realizing it's go time. We've got guys up front with a little bit of older tires, guys in the back with newer tires, and they're kind of all coming together in the middle and trying to go 3 wide, and it's just not quite working right now.
One guy we really haven't mentioned all day, he qualified in the 20th position. He's, kind of ran, mid-pack most of the day, but he's up to 5th right now, and that's Tyler Humphrey. Found something late. Don't know if he has anything for the win, but certainly a rebound finish for him as he can finish this thing out.
Yeah, we'll have to see how well these guys can time the restarts behind that number 28 of Patrick Colby. And Justin Lumpkin, he's up there as well in 7th. We saw him running in 2nd and 3rd earlier in the race, but had a big slip and slid around and fell all the way back to 32nd. He finds himself now back up into the 7th spot. Travis White, he was one that had stayed out earlier and came in and pit. So he's got newer tires than these guys in front of him. I'm not sure about Dylan Falovich in 6th spot, but I know the 23 of White has newer tires. And I believe Philip Forrester as well on a little bit newer tires.
Gonna get the one to go this time by. That'll give us 3 laps of green flag racing, assuming we don't get another caution. But these guys up front are certainly going to be battling hard. As 3 laps, not a lot of time to get things done, but you know, they're certainly all the giving is done and all the taking, you know, is up for the grabs right now. Early in the race, if you know a car was pinching you up into the wall or not giving you a lot of room, you probably back out of it. But you don't do that with 3 laps left to go in the race and running up front.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We've got now 3 laps to go. Some of these guys on the newer tires going to try to get what they can. You see Casey Herring back there in 12th position. Casey Herring probably got the newest tires of the bunch right now. And one guy that maybe is hoping for maybe one more caution is Bill Stringfellow. He finds himself 17th now. The first car a lap down. He was 3 laps down. So Stringfellow could get back on the lead lap with one more caution. This restart not going to count towards the green-white checkers as we're still in regulation.
We do have a caution before the white flag falls, and that will go into our green-white checkers, but we'll have 3 laps to go as they come out of turn number 4.
The 97 right on the back of the 28 of Patrick Colby. And he goes. 97 doesn't quite get as good of a start as he does. Now Colby already out to 0.2 of a second over the 5. We're going to have to see who's able to make up the time. Rattel now in 2nd. The battle now for 3rd between Nate Maurer and Blake Giglio.
Giglio going to hang tough on the outside and try to get around Maurer. Looks like he has the position, but can't quite get up alongside the number 5 of Rattel. Patrick Colby.
He shoots now to the bottom.
2 laps to go, and Giglio looking underneath the 5 of Andrew Rattel.
Yeah, Giglio down low. We got another caution out. This one involves the 81, and if the 83 wasn't involved, then he'll get back on the lead lap. 81 hard into the wall. Let's take a look and see what happened. He was actually coming out of the pit lane as these cars were coming around. Oh, the 2 come out of nowhere. Let's see what happens to the 2.
Yeah, they were already wrecking before that. The 23 was sideways.
Yeah, the 12 and the 23 touch. Then the 2 touches the 23. And he tries to avoid the 23 and just had nowhere to go as the 81 was coming out of the pit lane.
And that was the battle of those guys with fresh tires, and you see on the top of your screen there, the 83 looks like he gets through without any damage, so he'll get that lucky dog and get a green-white checkered to maybe try to move up from 17th, but the 2 car probably misses that wreck if the 81 isn't coming off of pit road down there, but you're just going to go down there to avoid the wreck. You're not really looking for, if there's a slow car on the apron.
Yeah, it looks like the 23 was trying to back out of it to try and not wreck as he was kind of getting beaten, banged around, but
Yeah, that was one of those instances where nobody's going to really give. The 23 tries to put it up the middle 3 wide, but the 12 of Falovich kind of came down to defend a little bit, and the 23 thought better of it, but ends up going around anyway as the 2 car got in the back of him when he got out of the gas.
Yeah, and I believe Casey Herring is disconnected there.
Herring showed a lot of speed early and was up inside the top 5 for most of the race, and a couple unfortunate incidents for him is going to give him a bad result here, but he certainly had a lot of speed. He's going to finish outside the top 20.
Now that we're in overtime, Patrick Colby gonna have to hold these guys off one more time, but the 16 of Giglio, he was looking very fast as we were going through there. The 16 was on the inside of the 5 when the caution come out for that second position. Now he's gonna be restarting right behind the 28. Stringfellow, he's going to be all the way at the back of the field, so not sure if he's going to be able to gain any more positions. But as he gets back on the lead lap, he's going to be sitting in 14th position.
What it does open up for Stringfellow is the possibility that if these leaders really start racing hard, and the white flag does come out and quite a few of them wreck, he can pick up some positions that way. But he's up to the 14th spot. So just kind of quietly has marched his way forward after, an unfortunate circumstance earlier. And he's going to get a decent finish out of it and a decent points day as he won the stage to get the points there, and looking like he's going to get a top 15 out of it.
Looks like he's waiting on a couple of these cars to come back around and maybe pass him. So he may be restarting 15th, but we're getting ready to go green as we're side by side now. This will be our first green-white checkered.
Make it back around to the white flag, then they will race back to the start-finish line. If we do get a caution before we get to that white flag, then we will have another attempt at a green-white checkered.
Yeah, Patrick Colby had some bad weeks the first couple of weeks, found himself way back in the points, but has really turned his season around the last 3 weeks as he's now moved up into the playoffs, and now he's leading this one as they come off turn 4. Patrick Colby gonna lead him down to the green flag. We'll see how well the 16 can get a restart. The 28 now off on the green flag. The 94 kind of jacked up the 16 a little bit. That's going to be a little bit of an advantage for Patrick Colby. But now the 16, he gets going on the inside of the 5. Can he clear the 5? He comes up. He's going to clear the 5, whether the 5 knows it or not, as they go down the back stretch. The 94, he may have a little bit fresher rubber than these 2 up front. The 16 now looking to the outside of Colby for the lead.
He's going to close the door off of 4, and the 16 going to get to his outside. Coming across the start-finish line, we have the white flag.
Well, they touch. The 94 now on the apron. They're around. The 94 and the 28 are around. A big wreck behind, but we're on the white flag. We'll go back and look at this in a minute. Blake Giglio out front. Andrew Rattel trying to challenge.
I don't think Rattel has anything for him coming up off of turn 4, and Giglio's going to take the checkered flag.
Giglio first, Rattel second, Nate Maurer third. And a big incident there as they come across the line.
The 77 was upside down there for a minute.
Yeah, the 28 looked like where the 16 and the 28 had touched. He comes down, the 94 kind of already there. They tag each other in the side. The 28 of Colby around.
Pretty much everybody back behind them involved in this wreck. I don't really see anybody that gets through it cleanly, but Valovich is going to be the first one that ultimately gets through and finishes fourth, and Christopher Carter is going to get a fifth place finish.
Yeah, looks like Stringfellow, he's going to come up and get a top 10. He was involved too, hit the inside wall pretty hard, but he gets going and ends up ninth. Yeah, big wreck there. We watched Giglio doing some burnouts. That's back-to-back wins for Blake Giglio.
And there goes the motor.
All right, Nate Maurer, he's going to come home third spot. Let's see if we can get a word with Nate here. Oh, maybe. Hey, Nathan, this is Dakota and Kyle in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, bud. How you doing?
Hey, doing good. You drive through the field. We didn't see much of you the first half of the race, but a couple strategy calls at the end. Find yourself up in the top 5, and you survive that chaos at the end and come home third. How did it look out there tonight?
A lot better than last week. I actually got the race to pass lap 25. Just kind of wanted to stay in the back all night, and yeah, just stayed in the back all night. And I knew I was pretty quick on the long runs. Worked myself up into the top 10 once, and pitted, and my teammate brought out a caution. Don't worry, he heard all about that. Went to the back, started all over again, and yeah, I think I worked 2 or 3 times from the back up to the front, and I knew here at the last 20 laps it was just going to be a shootout.
Yeah, a lot of chaos there at the end, but you survived through all that. Do you have anybody you'd like to thank tonight, Nate?
You for broadcasting this. You do a hell of a job broadcasting it. And all the sponsors, Simbox, and Stim Shots, and all my viewers and fans for watching in.
All right, well, good job, Nate, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you up here again very soon.
I hope. Have a good night, bud.
You too. That was our third place finisher. Now a new finisher in the top 3, Andrew Rattel. Hey, Andrew, this is Dakota and Kyle in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Dakota.
Hey, you drive up through the field, had a pretty strong night all night, but you come home in the top 3 for the first time this season. How'd it look out there with getting a second place finish?
I'm just excited I finished that up there finally. I mean, I feel like I've had the speed and just haven't had good finishes at all. But yeah, pretty excited.
Yeah, you did a great job tonight. Do you have anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank UFA, our sponsor, the whole team, everybody on our team, Matt, John, Jonathan. We all did good, and wish my dad well. He was in the hospital last night.
Well, we hope that your father gets better, and I'm sure it'll bring a smile to his face that you won, or that you got in the top 3. So good job tonight, Andrew.
Thank you.
All right, now back-to-back winner, Blake Giglio. Hey, Blake, this is Dakota and Kyle in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got it, guys.
Hey, I hear that excitement in your voice as you go back to back, Phoenix and then Atlanta. We've seen you up here in the top 3, 4, 5 all season long. You take the point lead last week and you come up here, you back that up by getting 2 wins in a row. How was it out there tonight?
Man, this track is crazy. It is loose, then tight, then loose, then tight, and it's just a handful. And to win in Atlanta, because it's so technical of a track by saving tires and hitting your marks every single lap and not getting loose. It's always a great feeling. You can pull off a win here.
Yeah, it looks like there early in the race you were battling with Bill Stringfellow, and you couldn't quite get by him on the bottom. And there on that last restart, you power by 2 cars on the outside. So did you think that the outside really had that much of an advantage?
Yeah, I did, because I was talking to Bill. I'm like, so you really think I can make this work on the outside? And he was like, yeah, go for it. So I knew I could get more throttle out of it on the top, and the runs off are very good on the top. I was able to get to the outside of the 28. Come to the after the white flag on the top, and I don't know if I came down or if he came up, but we ended up making some contact, and then he got turned after that, and then I knew I had to just block whoever was behind me there in the last corner, and then I had it. So it was a great race for everyone, and yeah.
Yeah, you were certainly fast. We saw you up there leading some laps, and you got mired back in the field. Didn't know if you were going to make it back up through there, but you did. You did a great job. Do you have anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah, Full Throttle Racing, them guys, Bill, Travis, and Jamie, they help out every week. You guys for broadcasting, Low Drag Esports, and yeah, that's about it.
All right, well, good job, Blake. We'll see if you can go 3-peat next week.
Not at Bristol. We'll try, though.
All right, well, good luck, man.
Thank you.
All right, Kyle, that was our top 3. A great race. Seen quite a bit of green flag racing, but the last 20 laps or so proved to be chaotic.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we certainly had long green flag runs that really tested these guys' ability to save tires and work their way up through the field, on those long runs, and then came down to who had the freshest tires at the end. But I believe the Giglio was actually on a little bit older tires than those around him. So tires didn't end up playing the ultimate factor in it, but certainly a race of a lot of strategy and certainly a lot of diversity in this one.
Yeah, we was there at one point there with about 10 laps to go. All the top 10 were guys that hadn't won yet this season, but Giglio drives through them all and gets the repeat. So a great job to Blake Giglio. Want to talk about a race that we're having here on the Throttle Up Racing Network on Easter. It's going to be a dirt race at Bristol. We've got in real life, they put dirt on Bristol. They're going to be going there next week to race NASCAR. And we're going to be racing Bristol, but we're going to be racing without the dirt next week. That's going to be a points race. We're having a race the week after. It's going to be on dirt, 125 lap main feature. That's going to be sponsored by UFA. They are the world's premier developer of air traffic control simulations. So UFA going to be sponsoring our dirt race at Bristol. Going to be some prizes available for these guys, and as well, we're going to have a paint scheme competition. We're going to have these guys submit their paint jobs that they're going to be running for that Bristol dirt race, and we're going to put those on our Southern Excitement Racing League Facebook page, and we're going to allow fans to come and vote, and whoever gets the most votes is going to get a little bit of a prize as well. So also, if you've seen in real life a couple weeks ago, Camping World had a lot of paint schemes, and in this past week in the Truck Series, Overton's run a lot of paint schemes. We're going to do something similar. There's going to be a bonus for those top 3 if they have a UFA paint scheme. So UFA putting a lot of effort into this race, and that's going to be good. That's going to be on April 4th. That's on Easter. No racing in NASCAR, but we're going to have this exhibition 125 lap feature and a couple of heat races as well at Bristol Dirt. But as for us tonight, that's all we've got for you. We'll be back Wednesday night for the start of the playoffs in the Rebel Racing League. And then we'll be back here next Sunday for Bristol. So, Kyle, you did a great job again tonight, and we will see you next week.